Education advocate Jeffrey Canada discusses in his TED Talk different ways and methods maybe we can change our education system, or he suggests changing it. He explains that the current business plan doesn't work for our education system, which I agree with. There's a lot of issues in our education system today. He says that 50 years ago, schools were failing, and that's still the issue today. So, what's going on? Why are we still having so many issues with failing schools and children who aren't getting the education that they need? He says technology has changed, but why not education? We evolve technology and create new technology and invent new technology. So why don't we invent new methods of educating our children in this country? He suggests trying to change things, using things to change in our education systems, like the creation of charter schools. He says that a lot of the things that we change in our education system might not work at first, but if we keep trying, we'll come up with different ways to and finally reach something that does work. He says to keep pushing science forward, and then the real safety of our nation is preparing the next generation of our children, which I totally agree with. So I picked direct credibility as my aspect on page 144. The direct credibility is the most obvious form of credibility, our book says. One develops this kind of credibility by making statements about themselves. Our book also says that every arguer brings a reputation to the decision-making process, which is something that Jeffrey Canada used in his argument in his TED Talk. He said that he just keeps bringing up his education and how he was studying education in college, and he is an education advocate, so he knows a lot about our education system. He used the form of direct credibility in his speeches repeatedly and made claims about what he has seen and studied during his career. He built his credibility by making these claims. So in my opinion, I think Jeffrey Canada did a good job on his argument. I'd give it an 8 out of a 10 because even though he is pretty credible and knowledgeable in this particular subject, I still am missing a little bit of credibility. He mentioned a couple of different things, but I wish that he would have been a little bit more explanatory in his argument. But overall, he did pretty good.